Welcome, welcome. Look at how we've got people from all over the UK, New Jersey, Vancouver Island, North Carolina, Nova Scotia, Montana. Beautiful. I love this. So many people joining us today for this celebration in the age of light. Before I get into today's celebration and ceremony, I'm going to just start with a deep connection, just connecting into ourselves, into our bodies. Loving seeing all of the beautiful people here that I get to see your photos and see you. And for those of you watching the replay or watching on YouTube, know that this energy is here for you no matter where you're at, live or not, to share this special moment with us all. Just allowing ourselves to just drop in now. Just take a moment to listen to the words and just drop into yourself, into this moment, into this time. In ancient cultures, we used to gather around the fire to celebrate time together.
Beyond all polarities, I am. Let the judgments and opinions of the mind be judgments and opinions of the mind. And you exist behind that. So. It's really time for you to see through the absurdity of your own predicament. You aren't who you thought you were. You just aren't that person. And in this very lifetime, you can know it. Right now. The real work you have to do is in the privacy of your own heart. All of the external forms are lovely, but the real work is your inner connection. If you're quiet when you meditate, if you truly open your heart, just quiet your mind. Open your heart. Quiet the mind. Open the heart. How do you quiet the mind? Meditate. How do you open the heart? You start to love that which you can love and just keep expanding it. You love a tree, you love a river, you love a leaf, you love a flower, you love a cat, you love a human. But go deeper and deeper into that love. Till you love that which is the source of the light behind all. Behind all. You don't worship the gate, you go into the inner temple.
your belly, deep into your body.
You don't need, you can let go of.
Breathing out anything.
You
It's
don't
not
need
serving.
loneliness, or you couldn't possibly be alone. You don't need greed because you already have it all. You don't need doubt because you already know. Confusion is saying, I don't know. The minute you are quiet, you find out that in truth you do know. For in you, you know. Plane after plane will open to you. I want to know who I really am. As if in each of us, there once was a fire. And for some of us, there seem as if there are only ashes now. But when we dig in the ashes, we find one ember. And very gently we fan that ember. Blow on it. It gets brighter. And from that ember we rebuild the fire. The only thing that's important is that ember. That's what you and I are here to celebrate. That though we've lived our life totally involved in the world, we know. We know that we're of the Spirit.
I want you to take a moment to imagine that everyone here is gathered together around a beautiful fire, joining our hearts and our minds for this celebration
The
today.
ember gets stronger. The flame starts to flicker a bit. And pretty soon you realize that all we're going to do for eternity is sit around the fire.
Welcome, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Age of Light Winter Solstice celebration. My name is Melissa Minnick. I'm the founder of the Sacred Soul Alchemy Mystery School. And this Winter Solstice celebration may be different than most that you attend, as I will be drawing from the ancient mystery schools of Egypt and the Essenes and the Law of Light. Yeshua and Miriam as we talk about the age of light and the holy days, holidays, the holy days as a gateway to light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. Your soul has incarnated now into this world to allow for us to see the ascension to the light. The fifth dimension is the light. We're moving towards this ascension from the dark into a new sacred ordering principle. The solstice is the longest night of the year, and solstice means to stand still. And it acts as a sacred portal that offers alignment with divine energies. And as we work through this gateway to transformation today, we're going to be leaving behind, releasing into the darkness of the solstice night, an aspect of your life that you're finally done with. Like, what am I finally done with? And we're leaving that into the darkness of the night. And we're going to be moving into this alignment with light. So I'm going to be speaking and sharing about the tradition of winter solstice, what it means through the lineage of several different theologies, along with the Egyptian mystery schools. We will be talking about the power of light, both as a spiritual essence and the power of light in our physical bodies. We will be building our pillar of light today. We'll be doing a ritual to work with our own pillar of light. And I'll be sharing about some of the sacred essential oils that were used. I mean, many of you probably have heard of them when they talk about the three wise men and what these things, because oil is a frequency that also produces light. And so we're going to be working with all of this energy today as we dive deep into this sacred portal as a place for us all to come together in this new wisdom that we are downloading that is no longer a mystery. In the ancient Egyptian mystery schools, light was revered and was a central pillar of the teachings and the spiritual practices. They saw the solstice as a sacred gateway to divine illumination. Think about it, light, enlightenment, illumination. A time to connect with the cycles of light and rebirth. And spiritual traditions worldwide have a deep and multifaceted relationship with the concept of light. Each tradition interprets light through its own unique lens, yet there are common threads that connect these diverse perspectives. In the ancient Egyptian mystery schools, Ra, the sun god, was the embodiment of divine light and life. He was revered as the giver of sustenance and the force that animated the natural world. And his daily journey across the sky was seen as a powerful metaphor for the soul's evolution. In the morning, the rising of Ra represented birth and enlightenment, a moment of awakening to new possibilities and higher consciousness. And I'll speak later about why I believe that being in the sun, in the light of day, in the first 30 minutes to an hour of daylight is so powerful for this awakening to new possibilities and higher consciousness. Then as noon comes around, as Ra reached the zenith of his journey, it symbolizes the height of our spiritual clarity and our strength. And then in the evening, Ra's descent into the underworld signified the inevitability of challenges, death, and transformation, only to rise again and embody the eternal cycle of rebirth. And so we can see this within our own lives as we awaken to new consciousness, we come to more clarity and strength, and then it dives us deep into the depths. At every single layer and level as we grow, we get to come back around into the shadow, into the depths, into the underworld, and learn something new and then rise again. The winter solstice was particularly significant because it heralded the gradual return of Ra's light and warmth, symbolizing hope and renewal and the triumph of wisdom over ignorance. when we consider this idea of sun as the giver of life, right? Embodying the light and warmth necessary for growth and sustenance. Ra's journey across that sky symbolizes this cycle of life and death and rebirth, reflecting that spiritual journey of our soul. And so we allow ourselves also to reflect on our daily journey, our yearly journey, as a metaphor for our own spiritual growth. At the dawn, think of, dawn is the birth and the awakening. This is the moment when the first light pierces the darkness. Do you remember your first moment? Remember the first moment when you had that first piercing of the energy of the light? I know for me, mine was not something that was lovely and felt really great. My first piercing of the light was when I dropped to my knees. It was 2009. And I remember getting an eviction notice on my door. I had just lost my job and my partner. And I dropped to my knees and I finally said, I called it my coming to Jesus moment. I was like, what am I doing wrong? And that was the first moment that I had a bit of the light start to show up for me. It was the transformation that shifted everything. Although I lived in my car and on friends' couches for almost a year after that, it was that moment that brought an illumination and a clarity to me. What was your moment, your birth, your awakening? And then as we come through this birthing, and in birthing, right, when we think of birth, we think of a birthing canal. Think of it squeezes you, it tightens, right? It is not a pretty process. There's pain with it. There can be agony. What happens when you birth and then come through is the beautiful creation. And then it allows you to have an illumination and a clarity into this brightest, this understanding, this enlightenment, this new stage. And then it happens, right? And then we go back deep in again, into the shadow, into the deep depths, into our fears, into the space for deep healing and transformation. And then again through the canal and back up to the zenith. So I want you to first start with today is just to write down one thing. What is one aspect of your life that you're ready to release into the darkness of the solstice night? In the longest night of the year, ancient traditions used to stay up all night dancing around fires, embodying and waiting for the rise of the sunlight in the morning to bring the new dawn as the sun starts to return. I believe that this beautiful ritual was not just about bringing back the light, but also about the power of dance and community and playfulness. The power of all of those things together and how we can allow these things to show up for us in our worlds. And so Egypt obviously was not the only one that revered the winter solstice and the light. In Vedic teachings, light is associated with the divine consciousness that pervades the universe. The concept of Jyotir, or divine light, is central to many Vedic rituals and meditations, symbolizing the inner light of the soul. In Christian teachings, Jesus, Yeshua, is often referred to as the light of the world, symbolizing divine truth and salvation. The illumination brought by Christ consciousness teachings is a guide for spiritual awakening. In Hinduism, the light is the symbol of that divine energy, knowledge, and truth. The festival of Diwali, also known as the Festival of Lights, celebrates the victory of light over darkness, good over evil, knowledge over ignorance. The deity Shiva, often depicted with a third eye, signifies the illumination of inner wisdom and consciousness. And the Rig Veda speaks of light as a divine presence that dispels the darkness of ignorance. In Buddhism, light signifies wisdom and enlightenment. So the Buddha is often referred to as the enlightened one, and his teachings, the Dharma, are seen as the guiding light for practitioners. In the meditation practices, light imagery is frequently used to symbolize the clarity and insight attained through these deep meditative states. The concept of the bodhisattva, which means awakening or enlightenment, is depicted as the blossoming of a lotus flower under the light of wisdom. In Islam, light is associated with Allah's guidance and knowledge. The term An-Nur means the light and is one of the 99 names of Allah, reflecting his attribute as the source of enlightenment and guidance. The Quran is often described as a source of light, providing spiritual and moral guidance to believers. And the imagery of light versus darkness in the Quran often represents the dichotomy between faith and ignorance. In Judaism, light is a symbol of God's presence and holiness. The menorah, a seven-branch candelabrum, the spiritual illumination that guides the Jewish people. The festival of Hanukkah, also known as the Festival of Light, commemorates the miracle of the temple oil that lasted for 8 days, symbolizing divine intervention and hope. In Taoism, light is often linked with the concept of qi, or life force energy. The balance of the yin and the yang, the complementary forces in the universe, involves the interplay of light and darkness. Light represents the active, creative, and masculine aspect, yang, which is imbalanced by the passive, receptive, and feminine aspect of the yin. The practice of Tai Chi and other Taoist exercises often involve visualizing the flow of energy within the body to promote harmony and vitality. Are we seeing something here? Are we noticing something? Isn't this beautiful? In indigenous traditions, many indigenous spiritual traditions view light as a vital force that connects all living beings. Light is often seen as the manifestation of the great spirit or creator and is used in rituals and ceremonies to invoke blessings, protection, and healing. The sun, as the primary source of light, is revered in many cultures for its life-giving properties and is often central to mythologies and spiritual practices. And if you will notice, when you go and travel the world and visit the pyramids, visit any of the Stonehenge, any of these great megaliths and things that were built there, all based on light. The way that the light shines through them, depending on where the cosmos were at that time, in the planetary alignments. The light of night at the star, like the star of Sirius, right? All of these different things are all pointing us to one thing, light. In most mystic and esoteric traditions, light is used as a symbol for higher consciousness, spiritual awakening, the divine presence. So such practices as Kabbalah in Judaism, Sufism in Islam, and the Gnostics in Christianity all utilize light imagery to describe the journey towards divine knowledge and union with the divine, the sacred union. And so this concept of inner light represents the divine spark within each of us, the I am that, you are that can be awakened through spiritual practices. I find this to be super fascinating and just so beautiful. How many of you agree, like when you look at light in this way, and you see this incredible experience, right? That it's all leading us back to light. No matter what your religious beliefs are, your faith, anything, it is across the board in all of the traditions. Whether you have a faith or whether you're spiritual, whatever it is, it's all leading us to this sacred ordering principle. And if you work with light, and learn to embody the divine light within you, it will clear the shadows. It will heal your energy field. It will heal your system. And so what I challenge you during these holy days is to take 30 days. 30 days of intense practice with your light. What do you think could happen in your life if you were to focus intently? I'm calling it next year my quantum year, your quantum year. If we focus for 30 full days on learning how to embody the light, the higher consciousness, what I call bliss consciousness. It's what my book that comes out on April 12th of 2025, High on Life, A Prescription for Bliss, is about how to get into higher states of consciousness, bliss consciousness, get out of stress and overwhelm, and become the light. So what if you spent 30 days? I want to know how many of you are willing and committed to spend 30 days. Put a 1 in the chat if you're willing to say, I'm willing to take 30 days. And I'm only asking 15 minutes, 11 minutes, even 5 minutes. This doesn't have to be a huge process. To take 30 days to completely transform your light and bring yourself back to the light. Ah, yeah, look at them pouring in. Here they come. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. That's all it takes. 30 days. And I'll be sharing at the end a little bit about if you want to join me, I'll be doing 30 days myself. Starting on January 1st on the 1-1 portal, I'll be doing 30 days straight myself. And you can join me for them every day. Every day I'm going to be doing it. So we're going to be doing it together. Because it's going to be most powerful when you learn to embody that light. Set your sacred intentions and quantum leap to your highest destiny through reaching bliss consciousness. Light serves as a sacred order and principle. It has profound transcendental properties. It plays a crucial role in accessing higher states of consciousness. And yet its presence goes beyond this physical illumination. It acts as a bridge to spiritual realms and deeper awareness. That is why the winter solstice, the solstices, whether you're winter, summer solstice, the solstice, is when the bridge, when the veil between the two worlds is very, very thin. It's giving you access to see as the sun stands still and opens this sacred portal to be able to see into these other realms. Light is perceived as a medium that can elevate consciousness, but it is also, when it's given, it's associated with clarity and insight and awakening your inner potential. But it's not just a metaphor. It's a really palpable experience that guides individuals towards higher states of consciousness. Just think of the phrase, let there be light. This declaration represents the birth of awareness and the structuring principle that brings light into existence. Enlightenment, a term we hear all the time, right? Enlightenment is not about becoming this somewhere out there Buddha sitting on the top of a mountain, right? Enlightenment is seeing the light. It is where one's perception is radically transformed and it reveals deeper truths about existence. It is when you have such a shift in the way that you see the world that it completely transforms the way that you live. I know for myself, from that person in 2009 that was living in her car, trying to figure out the world and what I was going to do next at 5 years removed from leaving my drug trafficking in 2004 after I overdosed 2 of my closest friends. And I was seeking. And the things that were revealed to me since that fateful day in 2004, all the way to now, 20 years later, I would say I've seen the light because my perception has radically transformed. So where have you seen the light That is enlightenment. I see that there are many stages of enlightenment as we're moving up the octaves of ourselves into these. Many stages. But what is something in your life that you have radically transformed? And how can you allow yourself to use light as this sacred ordering principle so that you can tap into the unified field, the God field? Another big, powerful initiate that we work with in the mystery school is Isis. Isis, it brings people to the initiates of the light. She is one of Egypt's most revered deities, and she's known as the goddess of magic and wisdom and fertility. And she's also known as the star of Sirius. Again, light. Again, all of these archetypes, Ra, Isis, Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, any of them, anyone that you are connected to, your guides, your angels, they're all bringing you back to the light. One of the things that I love about Isis, and also that connects into the story of the three wise men coming in to bring gifts, right? Bearing gifts to the baby Jesus that had been born. Both of them used sacred oils, such as frankincense and myrrh, which are believed to carry divine frequencies. So I've got my sacred frankincense here today, and I've got my myrrh, both of them, super powerful fragrant oils for this time. And we can use these oils were integral to the rituals that were conducted during the holy days. Their aromas were thought to evoke the presence of divine beings, facilitate deeper meditative states, and align the individual with light. So again, three wise men following the North Star. When we look at that from an aspect of what is the meaning behind that, it was the rising of our own three wise men within us to our own North Star, to the higher dimensions of our own higher consciousness. And frankincense and myrrh, and then the other gift was gold, were things that were used in these sacred practices to bring about these types of transformations. And so I always love to share a little bit about these because, were sacred symbols. Everything is symbolic, right? They were sacred symbols of honor, divinity, deep spiritual significance. Gold represented kinship and divine authority. Frankincense was the symbol of worship and the presence of God. And myrrh was associated with healing, purification, and the preparation for the transition from life to death, death to life. And so these offerings, both used in the ancient Egyptian traditions and through the symbolisms in the stories with the three wise men, they're not random. They're carefully chosen for their spiritual, medicinal, and ceremonial uses. And so I want you to start to think about, the reason I'm sharing about this is, instead of, like, we're going to meditate today, we're going to work on our pillar of light, but how do I bring this into my physical reality? How do I usher into my physical presence and work with the frequencies and the sacred properties and the actual physical realm? Because one of the biggest challenges that I find with a lot of people as they're going into and working into that deep spiritual revelation is, how do I ground it back into the earth so that it manifests through me, right? The law of emergence says, I am emerges from within me and comes out. But I must be grounded into the physical reality of Mother Gaia in my body. As above, so below, the Hermetic principles say that I am both of those. And so things like sacred oils, altars, physical objects, learning to ground in your body are all things that will allow you to bring this spiritual light, this connection into your physical reality. So this morning, before dawn, I think I woke up a little bit before 6 a.m. So it was like 31 degrees today in Texas, which is in Austin, which is pretty chilly for us here. And so I waited our sunrise today at 7:24. So at about 6:55, 30 minutes right before the sunrise, I went outside onto my little patio and got in my little cold plunge and was breathing in the light, right? I'm bringing the physical reality, the physical things in. And I won't get into the physical piece of cold plunging, but just know that our cells produce UV light. Our pineal gland is a receptor for UV light, which is why you want to be out in the dawning light, and I'll get more into that. But the cold plunge, the reason that that's powerful is because it actually helps your cells that are producing UV light. It's a really powerful practice. So it's a physical reality, something that I use as physical to bring that in. And then I worked with my my oils this morning. And today, because it is the winter solstice, I pulled out that sacred frankincense, which is the oil of divinity and clarity. Frankincense is derived from the resin of a boswellia tree, primarily found in the Arabian Peninsula and parts of Africa. And it was burned as incense in temples and used in sacred rituals to create an atmosphere of reverence and clarity. So I use it on my third eye. I'll put it in something to allow it to diffuse. I do have some of the resin, and you can like burn that resin, right? The symbolism, it creates divine connection and spiritual awakening. Now, if you don't have the oils, that's okay. You can still call in the energy of the frankincense, right? The energy of that sacred tree, the boswellia tree. And so when it was used in holy days, it was used to purify spaces, elevate consciousness, invite that presence of the divine in. But it's also known for its calming and grounding effects, which aids it in meditation and prayer. And it's thought to open the crown chakra, which fosters that connection to the higher realms. Then I'll get connected in with the myrrh. And myrrh is an oil of healing and transformation. So myrrh is a resin extracted from a tree that I can't pronounce. Commiphora, I think, maybe. And it's also native to the Arabian Peninsula and also to East Africa. And it was a key ingredient in embalming processes and used in anointing rituals. And it represents healing, protection, and that eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Again, we're looking at how do I bring in these essential properties into my life. And it's also known for its anti-inflammatory and anesthetic properties. And so when we're doing our return to the light today and doing our light pulling, I'm going to be bringing in the frequencies of I just lost the word. Frankincense? Frankincense and myrrh. I'll be bringing those frequencies in. So even if you don't have those oils or don't have access to them, it's okay. Know that the frequency of those will be there and align for you, because of course in the quantum field, everything is frequency before it is light or before it is physical matter, and we can use those frequencies together. So we're going to allow for those things. So some ways that we did that. So I created a sacred space for purification. You can use it as an anointing ritual, right? You can anoint your wrists, your heart, your forehead. You can inhale the aromas of these sacred oils. And you can also offer them as symbolic offerings on your altars. If you have an altar, it's always lovely during this time of year to bring in some of the winter solstice or summer solstice for any of you that are on the other in the southern hemisphere, right? But the solstice still to bridge that gap in between these two worlds. Awesome. How many of you use essential oils? Any of you use it? Oh, look, I love it. Everybody's like, tons of people raising their hands. Oh, seeing your beautiful faces. Yeah, putting them up in the pictures. Yes, awesome. Yeah. If you ever have any more questions about essential oils or using sacred oils, I have a wonderful woman in my community who is what I call my essential oil drug dealer. I went from dealing those drugs to dealing these drugs, right? She's really amazing and knows all sorts of things about it, and I'm happy to connect you with her about these amazing oils or anything like that, because I love them. I love the frequencies of them. And there's certain ones that I find that have really super high frequencies and are really great. So yeah, I get a lot of people, essential oils are my daily ritual. Yes, yes. It is such a beautiful frequency. And I was one of those where my essential oil drug pusher, she tried for a couple of years, right, to get me in on the essential oils. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then one day I had the aha, because I felt recognized the frequency of it. And I was like, oh yeah, I get it now. And I started using them religiously. And now I can't live without them. So in my life, the things that I do for sacred ordering, for working with light on a daily basis, I have the AO scanner, which is a frequency thing that I use. I use my essential oils every single day. I do my light pulling in the morning, right? I go in, I'm working with light, I'm pulling light. I do red light therapy and sauna and cold plunge, like all biohacking, different types of things too. But I'm working, everything that I'm doing when I'm working into my meditations and things like that, all of these things are to open my body and my vessel to being a receptor for more divine light to drop in. And when that divine light drops in, it is the frequency of pure love. It is the frequency of that. And then I become that, and my soul drops in more and more and more and more. So I want you to ask your mind, your body, your soul, just this simple question and see what the answer shows up for you. Just on a scale of 1 to 100%, right? 1% to 100%. How much of my higher self and soul are in my body right now? Just see what the number is you get. Now look, no judgment, no right or wrong. Just to find where you're at. How can I embody more of that when you start to live in that space? I got my number. Do you want me to share it? Mine was 93. But sometimes it's 99. I usually don't drop much below 80s or in some 70s anymore. But there were times where I was definitely not there. Definitely not anywhere near that, right? And that's okay. It doesn't matter if you're 20 or 30 or 40 or 50. It's not about the number. It's about a recognition of, like, if I do this today, this is my number. And if I practice and work on this for 30 days, what will be my number at 30 at the end of 30 days? What else will I heal or move or transition or shift in my system, right? That will allow me to embody more of my light. And when I want to say embody light, one of the things I want to talk about is what is the difference between law of attraction, like manifestation, right? Law of attraction, and the law of emergence. Because I think that this is a really powerful thing for everyone to understand. So we have these 4 layers or levels, right? We have that victim mode, where, when you're unconscious, you don't understand yet, everyone else is to blame, I'm the victim of my circumstances. I highly doubt there's anybody in victim mode on this call, right? Probably wouldn't be showing up here if you were still in that mode, because this is usually people that are in that mode are not seeking this yet. Although I would love for them to be here, because then we get to share that with them, right? Second level is the manifestation stage, right? That is that 3D idea where we're working with the law of attraction that says, if I vibrate, right, I'm going to manifest something. I'm going to attract something to me because of my vibration, my high vibe, right? My vibration. That is manifestation. That is that law of attraction. It was something that I teach at the Intuitive Intelligence Academy and some of our courses for many, many years. And then in 2022, when I had what I called my year of death, the previous year to that, I lost 7 people in my life and all these other things happened. I shut down that company and I walked away and I moved out of the country. And I didn't understand at that moment why. When it was because I was teaching a level 2 experience for a lot of those courses. Not everything there. I had started moving into these higher level things that I had been initiated into. But I was still so stuck in those old programs that I was teaching. And it was working with the manifestation and the law of attraction and that idea behind that. And what I've now come to understand, and it's level 3 and there's a 4. Level 3 is the level of the channel. And so the channel, right? Think of a channel. What does it do? It channels things in. The channel is not saying that it's a law of emergence. It's not saying that I have to be high vibe or vibrate at a certain thing and I will attract the things to me, although we can still do that, right? You can access any of these levels at any time. I'm not saying if you want to manifest a new car that you can't use law of attraction for it and go get yourself a new car, right? Or whatever. But there's something greater than that when the ego starts to drop out and we get into this law of emergence that says, instead of me using my mind and my body and these ideas and these feelings to attract something to me that I want, instead the soul of who I am starts to emerge from within me and I become the channel for divine power and love. And my soul then emerges and that is the I am. And from there, my world is manifested. It is manifested from within. It emerges. And to have that emergence, we must clear away all the bullshit, right? All the things that are holding us back, everything that's getting in the way. You know, like healing the energy field, healing all of the trauma, the pockets in the energy field, aligning all of those places in the DNA that are not aligned yet to our experience. And then as I start to shed all of this crap, that programming that all has been brought into my world from the time before I was even born and on, then from within me emerges this. And then that level, the next level is the level of beingness, where I am living into the I am, the being, right? And this is not a linear progression. This isn't this is good, bad. All of these are mixed in together. And sometimes you'll pop into one or pop into another. You can use the principles and the laws in different ways. But I would allow you to stay for a moment and see, like, if I were to emerge, what is here to emerge from me? So on the 1-1 portal, we're going to be doing a sacred intention class, and we're going to be taking you into your future, not from your ego mind or from your thoughts of what you want to create, but allowing for yourself to float into the field to go into the future and allow that future that your soul wants you to have in your highest destiny to then retrocausality, right? Come back and pull you towards it. We're going to be doing that. It's going to be the first day of our 30-day experience into our quantum year. And so on the 1-1 portal, put it in your calendars, 111 Central. 1-1 portal, 111 Central, wherever you are in the world, you get an email about it. That class is complimentary, and to my whole community, heck yes, let's do it, yeah. And we're going to spend that time working into this principle of being the channel. How many of you would love to be a channel for your higher self and your soul to emerge from you over trying to vibrate and just manifest something in the world? Yeah, put a 2 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat. I'd love to see. And I'm still saying you can use both principles, right? We can use both. But if we start to allow for the emergence, we will reach our utopian society. I believe that. So I am in a place where I know I'll be a centurion. And I believe in my lifetime, so in the next 50 some years, that we will see such a shift in society that we will look back and nothing will be the same as it was today. And I think that's a shift for good, a shift for higher consciousness, a shift into a whole new realm. And we get to be a part of that right now. I mean, I was even told by one of the amazing healers that I love to go and get guidance from that works with me, that at the age of 98, I'll be bringing something in, right? Like at 98 years old, I'm like, man, you mean I got another 51, how's that, 51 years? 51 years? before that happens, we got a lot going on, right? So, you know, who knows what's possible for us and where we can go. All right. So let's talk about our pillar of light, and let's do our beautiful process today for engaging into this pillar of light. Yeah. So the pillar of light, also called the central channel, I kind of delineate between the two, although the central channel is that channel, and the pillar of light is the light force that's within it, right? It's that symbolic representation of the connection between as above, so below. And it goes right up and down your spine and your energy centers of your body. It was believed to be the channel of light, of Ra, but you can also think of it as the channel of divine energy. It's connecting you all the way up into the God field, all the way into that pure divine essence of love, into the consciousness, and then all the way down through your body and into Mother Gaia. So let's just, oh, I lost everything. Hold on. Where did that go? Where'd I go? Well, that's interesting. Ha! Huh. This is fun. What is going on? What happened? Oh. Yay, I reappeared. Hello, everyone. I'm back. I don't know what happened. Okay. So, you are the bridge. You are the bridge between the physical and the spiritual realms. And called the also has been signified or called like the rainbow bridge. How many of you have heard the saying, the rainbow bridge? Yeah, so think about it like this. You have a rainbow inside you. Each one of your chakras is a color of light that together creates a rainbow. And so you are the bridge here to embody both the physical and the spiritual realms within yourself. And this pillar of light within you is a conduit to higher dimensions and higher wisdom. And so we can use this light, right, this practice, to work with our own energies, to embody and strengthen this pillar of light, to strengthen our Ka body and our light body. And you can use that to dissolve negative energies, promote inner peace. And so what we're going to be working with today, and then I'm going to come back after, and we'll talk more about some of the other cool things that we can use light and how we're working with the dawn of consciousness. But I think it's time to, I've been talking enough. Been talking enough. Let's get ready. Now, what I want you to do, this is a little different than some of you might come into my other courses or classes or things like this. I don't want you lying down for this practice today. I want you seated. I want you to have a straight spine. I want you to notice that your chin is down. I want the back of your neck to be open so that the gateway, the spine from the bottom of your root chakra, right up to your pineal gland has a straight. So none of this, none of this, none of this, none of this, and no lying down. So I want you to be soft in your body, but straight in your spine. Soft in your body, but straight in your spine. In whatever way is most obviously, if you have any kind of physical challenges that don't allow you to do that, or if any kind of curvatures or anything like that, just know that it's all working the same. But I want our this place right here at the top of our crown to just be up as much as possible, right? And then allowing for that light to come through, and then dropping down, 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 and into Mother Gaia right through that root. But know also that if you have any kind of physical things that don't allow you to completely sit up straight or do any of that, or if you must lay down due to physical things, if you're lying down watching this or listening to this because you are in bed or whatever. I had a gentleman that came into my courses several years ago who was hospitalized and in bed. When he first started working with us, he had stage 4 cancer and was dying, and he actually made a recovery within 9 weeks, and got out of the hospital. I lived a pretty wonderful, beautiful life. The cancer had completely disappeared from him. And then unfortunately he did a couple years later pass away. But the beauty of but he was able to do the processes lying in bed. So no matter what, that the intention is there, right? That you will receive the light. We're going to be working today with the beautiful energy of the divine gateway chakra frequency. Can you hear me? Can you hear the frequencies in the background? Okay. Some days we get magic. Just take a moment to now just drop in. Breathing deep into your heart. Just coming into this moment and into this time. Just setting a sacred intention today to just start to build your pillar of light, to just start to strengthen and allow the return of light, the return of your soul, the embodiment into your body. And as you do, you release, heal, let go of whatever's not serving you. Just breathe into the heart. Breathe out of the heart. Calling in the energies today of all our guides and angels, any that are specific to you. Also calling in the energies of Ra, Hathor, and Isis, Yeshua and Miriam and Mother Mary. All of the divine feminine mother. Breathing into this heart, into this space. I want you to just start to feel and sense and notice the space within and the space all around you. We're going to take a journey first today into the underworld, into the darkness, into the cosmos. Just allowing yourself to float in the darkness of the solstice night. And if you have the frequency of myrrh or have the essential oil, you can use that now to place it on your heart as we go in for healing and transformation. start with the feelings and the energy of that as we now start to just allow for the frequency of this sacred oil to be anointed through us, through me, to all of us here. As we just start to allow our consciousness to float into the space. As we start to take a journey deep, deep into the shadow, the underworld. It's that beautiful black void. And as we journey down now into that area, we're just asking to be illuminated to us something that needs to be revised, reviewed, healed, transmuted. Something that's not serving you that you're going to leave in 2024. Just see that, feel it, know it. And I want you to just see that thought, feeling, experience, belief, person, place, thing, whatever it is. I want you to see it as a symbol of golden light in the deep, dark womb of the underworld. It's just to create it into a symbol. It is a symbol of golden light. It has served you so well. It taught you a lesson. It kept you safe. It protected you. It showed you something you needed to know. There was a sacred ordering principle to this experience, this person, this place, this thing, this thought, this belief, this way of being that has led you to where you are now. But it is no longer necessary. And as you breathe out, you send love and compassion to this beautiful golden symbol, and you start to see it transmute. It starts to dissipate into golden flecks of light, turning itself and transmuting itself back into its original form, love, pure divine love. It was solidified and brought here to share with you and teach you something. And now it's being returned to its original state, back to the person, place, or thing that it belonged to, or just back into love. Keeping the wisdom and the learning and the integration, but no longer the program or the problem or the challenge. Seeing that divine energy now, specks of golden dust as it starts to whirl in that deep, dark womb of transformation. As that golden light starts to move into a spiral right up your spine. Transmuting itself into higher consciousness, into wisdom, into divine light and love as it brings in an initiation of clarity. As you are illuminated now with the wisdom and clarity of this challenge or thing, as you leave behind the programming and only take the wisdom with you into 2025. Only taking the wisdom with you into the future. feeling this golden light of energy spiraling up your spine. Now we're going to work on building our pillar of light, pulling in that energy from deep in Mother Gaia and from high above us, right into our own energy systems. So I want you to start to breathe deep into your belly, breathing deep into that pelvic bowl, deep, deep, just to breathe in, start to feel the energy moving around in your lower belly. As you breathe in, and I want you to then squeeze the perineum, squeeze that Mula Bandha lock, squeeze as you're breathing, keep breathing in. And as you breathe out, you start to drop that breath all the way down, keep squeezing that Mula Bandha lock, dropping that energy, that breath, all the way into center of Mother Gaia, till you hit that point of this golden ball of light. Down in the earth below you. That is the loving support of Mother Gaia, this beautiful energy. And as you breathe in, that golden ball of light, the energy, the light from it starts to rise up through the soles of your feet. Think of it, soul. It's because it is the first place where the soul starts to enter the body from below. So it starts to rise through the soles of your feet, pulling that light golden energy, that liquid energy up your body, up, and right into that root chakra, right down into that base of your spine. And again, feeling that energy as you now just release and just allow that golden light to swirl right in your root chakra, in your solar plexus or sacral chakra, womb chakra area, those lower chakras. And now we start to breathe in again. And as you breathe in, you pull this golden light now up from that root chakra, from that place of support, physical reality, and right up into the womb area, the sacral chakra, the womb chakra. Doesn't matter, male or female, we all have this. And you're bringing that up into the place of creativity and birth, into that place of the emotions and water and flow, pulling that golden light now up into that area, breathing it in, expanding it, allowing this liquid light to move in your body. What are you here to birth? What are you here to create? What emotions need to flow so that they're no longer stuck in your body? On your next breath in, you start to breathe now that golden liquid light and that energy up now into the solar plexus, into the land of 1,000 suns, into your place of power and purpose and confidence, pulling that energy, allowing that liquid light now to travel up into the center of your stomach. Where do you need more confidence? Where do you need more energy? Where do you need clarity on your purpose in this life? Breathe that golden light into that area so that it starts to rewire and order that energy so that you can have the confidence to live into your purpose and who you are. And then breathing in again. Now we're moving that beautiful golden light and energy now right up into the heart, into the sacred portal, the place of our heart connection, our love. Connected to the fourth dimension. It is from here, when we align that with our sacral chakra, the wisdom of the gut, along with the pineal gland, those three places aligned together, will allow us to connect into the God field, just allowing us to float into that energy, creating a coherent harmony between all of these things allows us to reach into that higher state of consciousness. So breathing that energy into the heart, into that portal, into your inner temple. And now breathing in again, that energy starts to rise and rise into the throat chakra, the place of our truth, where you manifest through your words and your actions, through the speaking of who you are. Your words are spells. What truths are you speaking and what untruths are you thinking that are all coming from this area? Allowing for yourself to stand into the authenticity of who you are so that everything that you say manifests into your reality with wisdom and love. Pulling that golden energy now up and into the third eye, into the area, so that you may see without illusion. Both your inner worlds and your outer worlds, to see the truth of our souls. To see beyond our physical reality into the truth of that consciousness that is the I am. To gain insights and wisdom and channel downloads, connecting us into the galactics and the cosmos. So you become a divine vessel of wisdom. And then again, breathing deep, breathing in, breathing all the way from the root, all the way up now, that golden light now pouring up your system and all the way into the crown, into the gateway that connects you to the divine. As above, so below, this beautiful opening. It is the barometer for everything else below. Feeling that golden light as 1,000 lotus petals start to open. Knowing that you are, that I am the I am. So that that light from above, all the way up in that divine gateway, so far up above, that platinum moonstone rainbow energy just starts to pour into your body. Now breathing deep into that pelvic floor, into that root chakra, the base of the spine. I want you to breathe. And as you breathe in, start to rise that energy up from your spine, squeezing your whole entire body, allowing that energy to rise as you're breathing it all the way up, dropping it right below the crown into that third eye, right in between those two spots, holding and squeezing. Holding as long as you can, squeezing that energy. And then when you let go and you're breathing out, shooting that energy all the way up through your soul star, through the galactic gateway, universal gateway, all the way up into the highest point of light you can find in the God field, into that divine source. And there is this beautiful ball of golden light mixed with this platinum rainbow energy. And it starts to slowly descend. It starts to come as close or as it feels comfortable as you allow this, the light of you. Maybe your ball of light's a different color. It's the light of you descending in deeper and deeper, surrounded by this pure energy of gold and light. And it mixes with that energy of Mother Gaia from below in your body. And this channel starts to run up and down as the energies flow and run through your body. And as these energies start to move higher and brighter, as you're breathing in with this energy and breathing out, starts to create an energetic field of light around your body. A pillar first starts at the size of your spine, and it gets bigger and bigger and brighter as this pillar of light now encompasses your whole body and starts to spin counterclockwise around you. You don't need to do anything, just see it, feel it spinning. Spinning faster than the speed of light as it's just moving and moving around you as your light body gets stronger. And then pouring down from above, an even bigger pillar and funnel of light encompasses you and starts to spin the other way around your body, spinning that energy clockwise as these two energies move and spin at the speed of light around your body, infusing your cells and your bones and your DNA with the light of who you are. Just sit in this energy and let it take you wherever it wants to take you today. Maybe you see colors or numbers or travel to another dimension or time or space. Just feel the energy of your light and sit in that. Just allowing this energy to be felt. Just take a journey on your pillar of light. Does your higher self and soul want you to know? And as we start to come back now, pulling in all of that energy, all of that light, allowing it to coalesce right into the center of you, turning it from dispersed light into laser, right? Into focused light, right in the center of your being, into the you that you are. Bringing that in, centralizing it all the way into your body, pulling the energy in. Start to come back to this space and this time, allowing yourself to just feel that energy. Now you can start to move your body, move that energy. You may want to rise your hands up around, creating a beautiful, feel that energy in the center of your pillar. Start to pull it down. Use, again, that physical reality. Now that we're pulling in that light, I suggest if you have it, that sacred, if you have frankincense or something, we can put that on our third eye. I'm almost out, darn it. Put it on our eye here. Allowing for that realm of higher consciousness, start to move that energy, pulling that light in, pulling it in, bringing it into our channel. Today is also a beautiful day to start doing sun salutations to honor the return of the sun. So just starting to come back. You are the light of the divine in physical form. Every day as you practice how to embody more and more of that light, you get to be a channel for more light to come to this world. While we were doing that, I mentioned a couple of things, the pineal gland and the DNA, right? The pineal gland is a receiver of light. Dawn light stimulates the pineal gland. That's our third eye. It influences our circadian rhythms. It enhances our spiritual clarity. Even if you can't do it every day, even if it's just once a week, getting out into the dawn of day and receiving, even if you live in an overcast place or somewhere where the sun isn't shining bright in the morning, that's okay. That light is so powerful. And exposure to natural light influences DNA repair. Light heals at a cellular level. They've been doing scientific studies that prove that people, like why we've been told, oh, wear your sunscreen and don't get in the light and all of that. that we are so light deprived that our bodies become sick. Now, I'm not saying go get burnt by the sun. Take everything with a grain of salt. What I am saying is light is a sacred ordering principle, and the light of the sun can heal you at a DNA level. They've done studies to show that people that could never lose weight, like no matter what they tried, no matter what they did, every followed every diet, worked out, etc., that the low level, the voltage of the light in their system that it was able to produce was so low that was one of the reasons. And when they started doing red light therapy and getting out in the sun at the early morning sun and doing light pulling in the morning, guess what? Their bodies regulated. They lost 60, 80, 100 pounds. Light is important for a spiritual awakening, but it's also important on the physical level. Dawn light, particularly during that blue spectrum of morning light, right? So I take methylene blue. It's one of the things that I take every day because it enhances my ability to harness light, right? The blue spectrum of light in the morning influences the pineal gland. Now, let me explain to you something about that and what this has to do as you guys are all waking up. I'm talking to you because I know y'all are coming out of being high, and I want you to have this information because I'm to hear what you have to say, but I want to share with this. So, how many of you stare at your phones all day long, or computer screens, or anything like that? Yeah, that it's all emitting a light that is not good for you, right? So that blue light in the morning is really good, but then we need that red light throughout the day to balance our pineal gland and to heal our bodies. And so we're literally living in a society where we have indoor lights, right? Like I turn off all my lights in my house. I don't turn on my lights in my house if I don't have to, because I want all the natural light. I have no windows, no curtains on my windows, and I have full on natural light. The only place that I have curtains is in my bedroom. I have blackout curtains for at night. Everything else is completely open. I'm letting in as much natural light as possible. I have filters on my computers and on my phone to filter out the bad light because you're sensitive to that. They're doing studies now on children because of the effects that they have from having iPads in front of their face all day and phones. It's literally changing their brains. And it's because of the light. There's a lot of new scientific stuff coming out about light, and I know we focused on the spiritual aspect of that, but I want you to understand in the next 50 years what you're going to hear about what I call the new medicine. I write about the new medicine in my book, sound, frequency, and light. And we're going to start to understand how we as a society have made ourselves sick because of the way we're living in light. So just a couple of things to think about is not just on a spiritual light, harnessing your pillar of light, but pay attention. Morning light exposure also influences the expression of certain genes that are associated with DNA repair and longevity. It helps your DNA to repair. It helps with circadian rhythms. The blue light at dawn increases levels of serotonin, which is a regulator, and it's a neurotransmitter that's associated with mood regulation, focus, cognitive function. It aligns us with the natural rhythms of life, right? All of these things. So I'm big into pulling in and adding, consciousness and light pulling and all of that, but also with the physical realm, right? Things like essential oils, things like red light therapy, things like dawn light, any of that kind of stuff is going to be really powerful for you to access more light, to allow your body to heal, to allow your body to experience. All right. What did you notice coming in? So beautiful. Let's see what I got. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, so here, Barbara. Barbara is my essential oil drug dealer, and she has told me that sacred frankincense is also grown in Oman, and it is resourced for us by permission of the King of Oman. They are his trees and have been there since before the birth of Christ. It was the frankincense that was given to Mary and the Christ child by the three kings. Thanks. There you go. Sacred frankincense. That's what I'm using today. Dun, 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 dun. I have regular frankincense too, but I pulled my phrase sacred frankincense today. But it probably because I just realized it's almost out and my myrrh is almost out. I just gotta put it in another order. Awesome. May you be with the light. My recommendation is to light a candle now. And if you feel safe enough to do it, leave that candle burning through the night. To symbolize the return of the light. That's another physical representation. If you don't have essential oils, right, we can use the physical representation of light in our house. So lighting candles, allowing them to burn through the day, through the night, tonight. Welcoming back the sun. Sun salutations are really powerful today also. Get out and do some movement in your body. Incorporate those things that allows for that light to join us. May you be blessed. May you inhabit more energy and love into this beautiful day. And I'd love to hear how your journey went for you. You can shoot me an email, send me a message. We'll be sending out this replay, and you can comment on the replay on YouTube, anything like that. I'd love to know. And I'm just going to, for those that want more information, I completely almost forgot what I was saying. So we are doing 30 days of working with your pillar of light, activations, sacred intention, quantum leaping into your quantum year. It begins with a beautiful class on the 1-1 portal. It's called the Sacred Intention. And so you can register to sign up for the Sacred Intention class. But if you would love to join me for the 30 days, we'll be meeting every day at 1:11 Central. And we'll be, so the actual, here, let me tell you a little bit about, just so that you guys know, dun, 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 what comes in with what we're doing with the 30 days. No, that's not it. Hold on. So we have a powerful, the 2-hour ceremony that starts out, then we're gonna have daily activations, healings, and transmissions. You'll have a sacred intention guide. It's a beautiful guide that helps you map out your intentions for 2025, look at what you need to release. This isn't about goal setting, it's about creating an energetic blueprint for your year ahead. It also comes with quantum frequency meditations and journeys, and then of course our beautiful community all together. You will be able to keep the course for all of space and time, so you can come back and revisit it as many times as you want. There will be, in addition to just the 30 days of our connections every day, and aligning to the frequency, aligning to the light, aligning to your future, working in that, you will also get some of the teachings on sacred intention, light, and things like that that'll all be put in there for you. So I'm going to put the link in the chat. I'll explain to you. So the course is $99 for the 30 days. You will notice when you look at the checkout though, that it says that you can pay what you want. And that is because I want no one to be left behind. So if you cannot afford $99, pay what you can afford. Do what you can. I want everyone to be able to join me. And if for some reason you don't want to join me for the 30 days, the 1-1 class on the 1-1 portal is free to the entire community. It is the kickoff. And you can still join me for that. So there's something for everyone to align to your 2025 and to do what is right for you. Watch your email for the link for the 1-1 portal if you don't sign up for the 30-day course. The link for the 30-day quantum year course is here for you. And I really can't wait to start my 2025 with each and every one of you. May you all be blessed. May you bring in more light. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Bye. Awesome.